Good morning to you all. Anyway, while I still wait for my telephone from America, I thank all the people that have answered my last little rant that I put up. It appears that the phone has arrived in England, but as I say, I'm still waiting for it to actually be delivered. Anyhow, that was with an AE automatic electric 40. So I thought we'd have another automatic electric today out of the collection upstairs. This one is not quite as old as the one on order, but nevertheless still quite interesting and brings a few interesting points. This was the first plastic phone that AE brought out, automatic electric. I get my dates right. It's the AE80, and it was brought out due to the fact that Western Electric, who virtually had monopoly in the country to supply phones, not exclusively, but they had held quite a big amount. Their set was the 500, which was brought out, and this model 80 was to make it look perhaps more modern, to look a bit like the 500, the same way as Stromberg Carlson did the same. I showed one earlier, my green example. So the independent companies did try to make their phones look a little bit like the 500 sets. So this is what was happening here. This was brought out in 1954. In 1954, I was just 10 years old. And give you an idea, the significance, well, not so much of 1954, but 1953, when the Queen had her coronation. When I sat through my neighbours watching it on television, being completely bored to tears. But that was in 53. And of course we remember the little neon lamps that were manufactured then with a picture of the crown which was light up. Anyway, I'm drifting off of the subject. Let's get back to this 80. I'll show you the rear. It's a very heavy base, very well made. Tell you, I'll just show you the underside. Unfortunately, a lot of the writing has faded, but that is the base that you would find. And notice the old style of feet, all intact still. So actually this is in quite good nick. Held on with 3 screws. I've got a pussycat's about to, oh, you might hear a little noise. That's my pussycat doing her business. I'll give a picture of her. There she is. That is Tabitha. Tabitha? Unfortunately she's deaf, or virtually deaf. She's a lovely pussycat. I haven't had her that long, as you know. She came from Battersea. A very lovely, friendly cat. follows me everywhere. She's an indoor cat. As I say, she's a little bit dodgy on her rear pins. She's had a bit of surgery, so I'm hoping she's going to be okay. But yeah, she's a nice girl, Tabitha. Anyhow, let's get back to this phone, which I keep drifting off from. There's the phone itself. Probably put this up many years ago. The bell, shown here, got a nice ring to it. And you'll notice, there's my pointer, you've got a bias spring there. A little spring which keeps the gong on one side. So when you press that, let it go, the bias spring brings it back. There's what is on the ringer, the type of ringer it is. I think SL probably, no, yes, SL probably stands for straight line, which means it would be on a normal line, not a party line, or shared service as it's called, straight line. So that should work on anything that's connected up to the telephones. You've got the capacitor there, which was typical of that age. It's probably a paper one. Nice strong contacts for the cradle. These phones were well built. Alright, I know that it's not covered with a plastic cover, but nevertheless it's okay. This phone, you can probably see, used a network. So in a way, the network normally or usually had the bell capacitor inside it, but in this case the bell capacitor is associated and actually joined to the bell itself, or the ringer. A very, very well made ringer, very strong, with your two gongs. And there, as I say, is the actual network. There's the number there. I won't turn it around. If you want to see that number, you'll have to turn on your head. But that's presumably the number of the network. You've got all your contacts. The only thing this hasn't got, I haven't got a diagram for it, but probably get a diagram out of classic rotary phones. If you look up their web and that, you'll probably find it. Well, more than probably find it. You'd find it. There's, I say, is a case. At the top of it, you've got your automatic electric with their typical trademark. North Lake, Illinois, USA. And this, as I say, is a plastic case. It's not a Bakelite. It was I understand, the first model that Automatic Electric made with the plastic case. Having a look at the dial, of course we get what we expect, an automatic dial. I won't take the cover off. It's a typical automatic type dial that's found on many phones around the world. French phones, the Indians, ITI, Automatic Electric of England, if you like, they use this type of dial, not for their GPO phones though, but they did for other ones that were supplied to private companies and the like. This has got a number, whether that's the number of the dial, it probably is, 902A. No date on any of these, I can't see a date. So I would assume, as I say, these came out in 54 when, as I said, I was 10 years old. Still a blooming kid then. Remember well. The handset is the typical handset that you'd find on these telephones. Quite a heavy job. I won't take the inserts out. They're obviously typical automatic electric inserts. Showing signs of a bit of patina, I'd say. Alright, the polish is gone. You can polish these up, but I don't know. I tend to leave the stuff well alone. It shows the age. And let's face it, we're in, what are we in now? Few years on. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're in 2023. So that's a few years on from when this phone was made. Now I showed you the dial as a typical automatic electric dial. They were good dials, but used, as I say, throughout the world on various models. Let's see, how do I put it back? I want to show you this clips in. I might have to use both hands, so I won't put it in at the moment. What I've done is to show you what is actually on the dial. You can see there it's only got numbers. Normally you'd expect letters. So this phone was obviously made for private installations where letters weren't necessary. Use inter-office, for a company, for a factory, not for the normal telephone system. This is why there's no letters. But nevertheless, that adds to the, I say the rarity, I suppose it does. I suppose you'd normally find these with letters, but this one, you know, and it's a brass painted finger wheel. Okay, I know the middle opal or whatever you call it is not there. Not the end of the world. That, believe it or not, is more. I'll show you the got a normal twisty cord, and this was fitted. This was probably fitted afterwards, although I don't know, with the modern American type plug. So that was definitely put in afterwards. In fact, I might have even connected it up. Just can't remember. I've had this one quite a while. As you can see, there's probably some signs of antique dust in there as well. Anyhow, that is all I've got to say with this. Having a quick recap. It's an AE80. Introduced in 1954. The first telephone AE made with a plastic case, not Bakelite. And it was, the style was to compete against the Western Electric 500 type. That, I think, is more or less it. So once again, thanks for watching. Any comments please make. As you may have noticed, I've answered a lot of the questions that I hadn't answered for a long time on the channel. So I'm pleased I have done that. And once again, thanks to you all for contributing and putting comments in. It's always interesting. And also some of the good I'll get it right in a minute. Also some of the comments concerning the tracking on the other American phone, which hopefully I will get sometime at in one piece, but we'll wait and see. Anyhow, thanks again. I'm going to stop talking now. It's a blooming cold day. So yeah, thanks again. Thank you.